Welcome to my channel. In the vast landscape of American coinage, there exists a small, copper-colored piece that has quietly traveled through hands, pockets, piggy banks, and store counters for decades, a penny. Just 1 cent in face value. But as any coin collector or numismatist knows, sometimes the smallest denominations hold the biggest stories. And today, we're diving into the fascinating tale of the 2000 USA 1 cent penny with the Denver Mint mark, commonly referred to as the Roosevelt D penny. And yes, believe it or not, this little coin, if you're lucky to have the right one, could be worth a staggering $1.26. To begin our journey, let's rewind history and consider what a penny truly means in American culture. For most people, it's just spare change, something to be tossed in the nearest tip jar or kept in the car's cup holder. But in the eyes of collectors, a penny is a time capsule. Every detail, from its mint mark to its wear and tear, tells a story. The penny in question today was minted in the year 2000, a year that sat right on the edge of the new millennium, when fears about Y2K were just beginning to calm, and the world stood at the brink of technological explosion. The stock market was wild, digital technology was booming, and yet, here we were, still minting copper-plated zinc pennies like we had for decades. The 2000 D Lincoln cent was produced at the Denver Mint, which is what the small d signifies, usually found just under the date on the obverse, the head side, of the coin. Denver is one of the key U.S. mint facilities, known for producing coins with precision and volume. In the year 2000, the Denver Mint produced over 8 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, billion, with a B. That means this coin, in theory, shouldn't be rare at all. So what makes one of them worth over $100? Well, the answer, as it often is in numismatics, lies in the details. It's not just the fact that it was minted in 2000, or that it carries a D mint mark. It's about what happened during that minting. See, in large-scale coin production, mistakes happen. Dies crack, strikes double, planchets are misaligned, and over time, these errors make their way into circulation. Normally, the U.S. Mint catches these problems early. But once in a while, something slips through. That's where the 2000 D Lincoln cent comes into play. There's a specific variety of this coin, one with a slight but significant error, that makes it extraordinarily valuable to collectors. Some 2000 D pennies feature what's known as a double die error. In essence, during the coin's creation, the die that strikes the image into the blank planchet did so slightly off alignment, twice. This doubling can most often be seen in the inscriptions, particularly in the word Liberty or the date 2000. In rarer cases, it appears in Lincoln's eye or coat, giving a ghost-like effect. But now, let's return to the mystery. Out of over 8 billion Lincoln cents minted in Denver that year, why would even a single one be worth more than its weight in copper-plated zinc? As with all valuable coins, it's a mix of rarity, condition, and desirability. Coin collectors operate on a scale called the Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A perfect coin, flawless in every way, is rated at 70. Most pennies you find in circulation might hover around 10 to 30. But the 2000 D penny that fetched $126? That one was graded much higher, often at 65 or above, and here's the wild part, this coin is still out there. Many of these rare error pennies have yet to be discovered. They sit in jars, drawers, and forgotten collections. Which means you might have one right now and not even know it. That's what makes the 2000 D penny so fascinating. It's a reminder that history, value, and mystery can live in the most ordinary places. Let's consider the collectors who go after these coins. For them, it's not just about profit, it's about legacy, about preserving a small piece of the American story. When they acquire a rare 2000 D penny, they're not just buying metal, they're buying a piece of a narrative. A narrative that includes the industrial might of the Denver Mint, the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, and the quirks of the minting process that sometimes produce beautiful, accidental art. And so we come to the part you've been waiting for, the value. As of today, a certified 2000 Lincoln penny with the correct double die error in mint state condition can sell for as much as $126. Yes, that single cent has multiplied its value by over 12,000%. And that's just the beginning. If additional varieties are discovered, or if demand increases in the collecting world, the value could rise even more. It's important to note that not all 2000 pennies are worth this much. The vast majority are still just pennies. But that's what makes the hunt exciting. That's what makes finding one feel like discovering a buried gem in plain sight. It's not about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, training your eye, and staying curious. So, the next time you receive change at the store or empty out your coin jar, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for that little D beneath the year 2000. Examine the inscriptions. Is there any doubling in the letters? Any unusual textures? You might just be holding more than spare change. You might be holding a slice of history, a tiny copper-clad ticket to a $126 reward. In the dim light of a collector's study, tucked between coin albums and magnifying glasses, lies a tiny copper treasure often overlooked by the untrained eye, a single penny dated 1981, bearing the small but significant D mint mark. To most, it's just spare change. But for those who understand the subtle art of coin collecting, this 1-cent coin carries a tale stretching across generations, wrapped in historical transition, design evolution, minting precision, and the occasional mystery of rarity. And for one specific coin, a gleaming specimen in nearly perfect condition, that story ends with a stunning valuation of $130. Let's journey back for a moment, not to 1981 just yet, but to the origins of the modern American penny. It all began in 1909 when the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first time a real person appeared on a U.S. coin intended for circulation. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original cent featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse and wheat stalks on the reverse, a now classic design that became instantly beloved. Fast forward to 1959, on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, when the wheat reverse was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial. This transition marked a shift from a symbol of agriculture to a tribute to one of the nation's most enduring monuments, etched forever on the back of the humble penny. The Lincoln Memorial reverse would grace the coin for the next 5 decades, during which time many varieties were struck, including our subject of fascination, the 1981 D penny. 1981 was a peculiar year for the U.S. Mint. It was the final full year that pennies were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Just a year later, in 1982, copper prices would rise enough to force the mint to switch to copper-plated zinc, a transition that would bring about many coinage variations and even some confusion among collectors. But in 1981, the penny was still reassuringly heavy in hand, its deep copper tone catching light in ways the newer zinc coins never could. Each coin weighed 3.11 grams, and though billions were minted, few could have guessed that certain examples would become prized decades later. The D mint mark below Lincoln's shoulder tells us this particular cent was struck at the Denver Mint. This facility, known for its efficiency and high-quality output, had a reputation among collectors for turning out coins with sharp details and strong strikes. In 1981, Denver produced over 5.3 billion pennies. Yes, billion, with a B. With that kind of quantity, you'd think every one of those coins would be practically worthless, right? That would seem logical. But coin collecting rarely plays by simple rules. So what makes this one particular 1981 D penny worth $130? It achieved a grade of MS68 red, meaning it was not only uncirculated, but preserved in nearly flawless condition with its original red luster fully intact. Such coins are exceedingly rare because copper is a reactive metal that tarnishes easily. Very few 1981 D cents survived the past 4 decades without developing even the slightest blemish. Combine that rarity with the high grade, and suddenly that 1-cent piece becomes a miniature fortune. Let's pause for a moment and appreciate just how difficult it is for a coin to earn a grade of MS68 red. Out of the billions produced, only a tiny fraction ever reach such lofty heights. These are coins that were likely never handled by human hands after minting, carefully stored in controlled environments, and often discovered in original bank rolls or mint sets that remained untouched for years. They are not just well preserved, they are flawless by the standards of experts who scrutinize coins under magnification, searching for even the smallest imperfections. It's easy to dismiss pennies as insignificant. They're the smallest denomination, often lost between couch cushions or abandoned in take a penny, leave a penny trays. But stories like that of the 1981 penny remind us that even the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary value. A single cent, mass-produced and widely circulated, somehow became a prized artifact, worthy of admiration, protection, and yes, a place in a collector's vault. Collectors often talk about the thrill of the hunt. It's not just about acquiring valuable coins, it's about the journey, the stories behind each piece, and the knowledge gained along the way. A coin like the 1981 penny at MS68 red is more than just a lucky find. It represents hours of searching, research, and sometimes years of dedication to a hobby that's as much about history as it is about money. Today, that one 1981 penny holds a value of $130, not because it contains rare metal, or because it has a dramatic minting error, but because of its purity, its condition, and its scarcity in top grade. It reminds us that even in a sea of billions, uniqueness can shine through. And for the collectors who chase perfection, that shine is priceless. So next time you come across a penny, especially one from 1981, don't be so quick to toss it aside. Look closer. Check the mint mark. Examine the condition. That coin in your hand might not be just 1 cent. It might be a forgotten gem, waiting to be rediscovered. After all, in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest treasure can tell the greatest story.